we'll do an MRI. I'm not sure if it'll be tomorrow or the next day, but we'll wait and see. But initial reports seem to be encouraging, but you never know till you do the MRI.
Any questions?
Is that the craziest fourth quarter you've ever been a part of?
Man, I've been a part of some crazy ones. I've been a part of some crazy ones for sure. Two of them against LSU for whatever reason. I was a coach at Alabama, and I think we were down 13 points with I don't know if it was like a minute 40 or something, and we won the game in Baton Rouge. That was a crazy one. But the LSU game in the Peach Bowl, that was one that was wild. 4th and 16. So 3rd and 18 down there at the stretch, and just somehow we found a way to get it done. But yeah, I think was it 5 lead changes? It was just back and forth. And just we did some dumb stuff now. We did some. We had 4 guys out. Obviously, we know we had 4 starters out on defense, and but guys. We had some base. Cover 2, and we let a guy run right by us. On one of our best players. So we did some dumb stuff that we'll grow from and learn from. But man, and again, you hate to go through it, but the flip side of it, to see your offense have to go win the game, the defense has been there all year. And we wouldn't even had a chance today even though they gave up those big plays. If we hadn't got the takeaways, we'd have had no shot. But to see the offense go win it that way, that right there will be huge for the development of our guys, our quarterback, our linemen, our skill, everybody. The belief, the confidence, the grit, the heart, those things, man, great stuff happens when you got all that stuff in place. And a game like that, a win like that, a drive like that, will put a lot of wind in your sails.
20 years ago, I mentioned, talked to you after the NC State loss. 20 years ago, we made the finish that year, and 20 years later, we repeated kind of the finish part 2. And again, just what do you have to say about just the team coming together to find through so much adversity, injuries, the opt-outs, and just everything, the backs against the wall? What does that say? I know you've kind of touched on it so far, but what are your thoughts on just how the season finished up for this crew, for this team?
Yeah, all I can say is that's just who we are. These guys have they love who they're with. They love where they're at. And, we talk about all the time, man, the foundation of this program is effort and attitude and belief, unshakable belief. And it's discipline, and it's mental and physical toughness. It's putting your heart into what you do. And again, it's believing no matter what. And they did that. They epitomized that. Again, at 4-4 at a place like Clemson, it creates a lot of noise, a lot of narratives, a lot of doubt, leadership challenges, all those things. And but these guys, they chose to continue to believe, chose to continue to kind of keep that windshield mentality, to just stay in the moment and to stay together. That's what they chose to do. That's the decision they made, and now to be here, because it's very easy for them to buy into stuff. But they just kept working, and these are the lessons that they carry with them for the rest of their life that come through this game of football.
Dabo, as well as Cade has played at times this season, that last drive was another level. You'd probably agree that it looked like it was a faster, looser pace for him. And would you agree with that? And B, is that a pace that could be carried over into next season for a more frequent strategy, if you will?
Yeah, well, I hope so. Obviously we got to have a touchdown with 2 minutes to play, so we got to play as fast as we can. But there's no question that tempo is good for him. It really is. He plays when he gets in rhythm. He sees it, and I thought that we did a good job with that. And we had the 3 timeouts, and you're trying to. Unfortunately, we had to give up one on the grounding. But it was awesome. What a drive. Again, that's the type of game that a young quarterback as a coach, it's painful when you have to go through those things, but that's how a young quarterback grows, for sure. I mean, he'll never forget that, and neither will anybody else, the players, the offensive line, and it just fuels him moving forward. But it was well orchestrated. Obviously, we didn't, you don't plan on getting a 3rd and 18. That had a couple groundings, so to watch the film on that, we'll talk about that, Cade. But we overcame it. I mean, it was just an unbelievable play and an effort to get the first down, and then to finish it the way we did. Again, with one, we had one left, and you're like, all right, we're going to try to run one in here, and if we don't get it, we'll call timeout, and Cade, you're going to have a couple plays, and it's got to be, in the end zone, touchdown, incomplete, whatever. So, but man, Moffa, man, he wasn't going to be denied, and neither was that offensive line. It was a great surge off the ball and a great push to finish that thing off for his 4th touchdown.
So the offensive line, I think it was 8 sacks today. What do you want to see from that group going forward?
Yeah, we got to get better. We got to establish our depth, and obviously we've been without Walker Parks. And this was a tough one. His dad played at Kentucky, so it's a tough one for him to miss. But and Marcus Tate, but we'll have 7 starters coming back. And we're excited about that. We're excited about what we've got. I'm sure not all those sacks were on the OL. It's easy. That's kind of the first thing everybody does, but. We'll watch the tape and we'll assess it. There's probably 1 or 2 that Cade might have taken. I don't know. We'll see when we watch the tape. But there's a lot of things that go into it. But I'm really excited about the group that's coming back. Certainly excited about Coach Luke coming in and getting his first win. We're going to make it easy for him. So getting his first win, he and Coach Rump, it's pretty cool.
Anybody else for Coach?
What did you tell this clip from Clemson Sports Community? What did you tell the players after that kick return right after half?
I'm not sure I can repeat that right here. Yeah, I was pissed. That was just, it was bad. We thought there was a hole, but it doesn't matter. You got 11 guys on the field, and I was really disappointed. We knew going in. I mean, I think they're 3rd in the country in kick return, and ironically, we ended up having a big one ourselves that set up a difference in the game. But that was very disappointing. Sometimes when you have a kicker, Robert Gunn made All-American this year as a kickoff guy, and sometimes when you have a guy like that, and he just, I don't know, 90% of them are not returned, maybe more. Sometimes guys can let off a little bit and, not cover with quite the intensity they would if they know it's coming out. And that's our job as coaches to instill that. But, that was incredibly disappointing. Just it's amazing to win the game. You give up a kick return, you usually get beat. And it's just a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. Really disappointed in that. But we overcame it. There was a lot of adversity in that game, but these guys, you got to give the credit to the players because they still believed, they still kept battling, and again for our defense, who's really been there all year. I mean, our defense is, man, they've sat there, they've watched us fumble on the 1, they watched us, just screw it up on offense a few times this year. You getting ready to go up and give up a sack 70-yard. I mean, they shut teams down. So they've been there all year, and so they deserved that one tonight, even though they had some things they'd like to do better. But for them to see that offense go down and win a game, our defense deserved that. And I'm happy for them that the offense was able to come through for them like that because, again, they've been in position and took some losses this year where they did everything they could to win. Yeah, just growth. It's growth. Growth follows belief, right? If you don't have the right beliefs, if you got doubt, that's where your growth's going to go, towards that direction. But these guys chose to believe in themselves, to believe in each other. Really proud of our staff. Man, Garrett did a great job. I mean, there's some frustrating things here or there. You just go, holy cow. But everybody just hung in there. And that, again, it shows growth. It really does. And I can't say enough about Maffa and how he finished this year. It's just awesome to watch. I mean, he just really has kind of come into his own, his patience as a runner, and the combination of him and Ship has just been the difference for us down the stretch. I mean, they've been awesome.
Can you elaborate a little bit on Will? We saw him land on his head, obviously, but it's a knee.
Yeah, it was a knee, and again, you don't want to say anything other than all I can say is, they felt like it was best case scenario just on a observation, but they got to do the MRI, before you can have confidence. We've had that go both ways, right? We've had worst case scenario news and do the MRI and get good news. But that's initially they said looks like best case scenario, but we'll see what the MRI says.
You've got a few guys still pending with NFL and comeback decisions. What are you thinking about roster management-wise, and when would you like to maybe have team in place set for?
I got a good feel where everybody's at and what our roster, where it sits right now. We're in a good spot.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll get
Okay.
the players.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate